beautiful Virgo, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for the end of May right through the end of June 2024. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Virgo, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Virgo? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to see regarding their career situation, their money situation, their job situation? Can you please guide them? What are they meant to see at this time regarding their current circumstances? We have the World card there. We have the Death card. Can you please guide them and show them the way? What else are they meant to see regarding their situation at this time? What are they meant to be aware of what is coming up in the future? Could you show them the way, what to be aware of? Okay, so we have the Hermit card and we also have the Lovers card as your outcome. So this is really about loving what you do. Some of you may even be going solo on a project or thinking about becoming a consultant or launching your own business. This could be something that you're strategizing at this time or even formulating a plan towards. But the World card tells me that you're very goal-oriented in the next coming weeks and months. I mean, I feel like you've set a goal. I'm actually seeing someone right now pinning something to a board. Now, this could mean either someone out there right now in this moment as you're listening to this reading is pinning something to like a vision board or maybe to a board at work. But I feel symbolically it means that some of you may be casting new goals or new intentions, or you are putting things up to focus on, prioritize, or be organized on over the next coming weeks. And it feels like you have something in mind that needs your attention, that needs your focus. So, I mean, I also do see some of you are looking at backlogs, okay? For example, you may be looking at things that perhaps have not been done yet, things that have been on the back burner, per se. I feel like it's more sort of like tasks or responsibilities that you know need to be done, but you've been just prioritizing other things, and now you're going to get round to the things that you haven't done. Maybe some filing, maybe receipts, maybe it's tax time. You have to get organized on that. Depends on your working environment. For some of you, if you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you are, focusing on administrative tasks at this time. And if you are in a company, it could mean that you are taking on some extra work or looking at where some work has built up over time, and now you're going to have a little bit of extra time in order to focus on that, okay? Let me see what else is coming out there for you. Now, looking at your cards, your protagonist energy, some of you, there is going to be a major boost of confidence here. A goal is being finalized. It feels like you're reaching a milestone or completing a project or a task that you've had on the go for quite some time, and you really should celebrate yourself. You should be really proud of yourself. And if you haven't reached that milestone, then definitely by the end of June you will have reached it, and there is a cause for celebration here. We got the World card, we got the 6 of Wands. This is about you being appreciated for what you do, your skill set really standing out, and of course I just get this energy here of you like being on to the next goal or formalizing the next plan, new projects coming in. So I feel some of you maybe even tying up loose ends before you go on a vacation or a holiday, for example, or even like a business trip. Some of you may be training someone else up to do your role whilst you go away. And I feel here with the Hermit, I feel on your return, people are going to miss you because nobody does the job as good as you, is what I see there. So there's going to be a lot of that. If you've just come back from a vacation, you may feel that actually there's been a buildup of work because in your absence, it just feels like there's been a bit of backlog. People didn't do exactly what needed to be done. So you may need to revisit this. That's very frustrating, but I actually see that it gets you back in order, organized, and kind of eases you back into the everyday fray of things, okay? But let's get to the majority energy. We've got the World card, something to celebrate coming in here. Something is complete, it's done. I feel you've been working really hard towards this. There's a victory wreath here, so success shall be yours. Now, it's really interesting because I'm being given an energy. The World card is like a process, right? It's like a cycle of repeat or a cycle of doing that comes to an end, and then we're on to the next thing, endings and beginnings, that sort of energy. And I'm being given an energy here right now. It's like, of course, like humans, whether you're in a career or job or you're looking for one right now, we're not going to win every day, okay? There's going to be some days where it's harder than others, but every day is actually an opportunity to participate in the process of making progress and to show up for yourself, to make things happen. And I feel like you're in that flow, recognizing that, it is like a marathon. It's not a sprint. I feel like you're in it for the long haul. You've invested in your career sector and, you are going to be accomplished. You're going to be very successful in whatever endeavor it is that you're working in right now. And I feel with that Six of Wands, there is some level of progress being made in the next 8 weeks. It's kind of 6, maybe even 8 weeks where you see that you are making progress, that you're making a difference, you're making an impact in your career, and you're being noticed for what you do. So this could be like the end of a project and you're celebrated because of your work on it. It could also be that you're celebrating that finally it's over and now you're implementing like your next vision, or you're going on the next step of your journey, because once we accomplish one thing, there's always something else. You're reaching higher and higher and higher than ever before. And I feel, it's going to be a very inspired month. You're going to be very productive and, things are just going to flourish for you. And I feel very excited there for you as well. Now, that World card, it can also indicate some of you are taking a vacation and you have to get everything done before you take that vacation. But also some of you may be thinking about being a little bit more nomadic or independent or free in your current circumstances. So if you're an entrepreneur, for example, and you work for yourself, it could be that you're thinking about where in the world you feel that you belong when it comes to working. You may be looking at different financial aspects of beneficial ways to work in different countries, for example. Some of you may be looking at where you want to work or where you want to travel to form new alliances with business partnerships or with clients, for example. Maybe even some of you, if you are an influencer and you're using social media, for example, I see your business going worldwide. I see more people being drawn to whatever it is that you advocate or whatever it is that you do online, or even in your business structure, whatever it is, doesn't have to be online. I feel like there may be some more global links. There is going to be expansion here where you're going to have more international clientele or attention from overseas. And if you work for a company, for example, some of you may hear of a new branch being opened up overseas, and you may be curious about whether there is an opportunity for you to go and work in it. So you may put the feelers out there as well. Now, with the World card, some of you beautiful Virgos, not all of you, but some of you have come to this reading and you've just completed something, like you've left something like maybe a role, or perhaps you walked away from a toxic environment. Some of you may have been made redundant and it's run its course, for example, and now you're looking for new opportunities. Well, I definitely see that you're someone who stands head and shoulders above the competition. It's difficult out there on the job market right now, and what I mean by that is there are some opportunities, but they may not be in the league of the pay that you should expect for what it is that you bring to the table of your career, okay? So I feel like, there may be some things that come your way that you've been feeling a little bit uncertain about, going, okay, well, it is money. Maybe I should take it, maybe not. But I feel like you are valuing yourself and your skill set. And there is a wonderful new opportunity here that you're absolutely going to love. Okay, I feel like there's two kind of potentials, but there's one that you're like, that's it. It's the one that makes you really curious, the one where you can really see yourself establishing yourself in that role and really making it your own. And it utilizes your intelligence, and it also helps you. I feel there's something here about investigation. So it could be that you're learning new things on the go, or it could be that you're moving into an arena where there is an investigative part of your job. So for example, if you work in accountancy, you may need to reconcile accounts. So you have to go searching for the information. You may have to, formulate some sort of data in order to do that. So it kind of is investigative. For some of you, it could be that you work in the services and you have to investigate certain things to help other people or to level up in your industry in some way. I just get an energy of investigating things further, having new ideas, expanding, and almost like how can I put that? It feels very much explorative. So some of you, if you're deciding to stay where you're at right now and you are currently in a role, it could be that you are exploring new ways of approaching what you do just to get the best benefit out of it so that you can increase on your skill set. So some of you may have an appraisal, for example, this month, and talk to a boss. If you work in a company, you could talk to somebody and say, look, you know what? I've hit a plateau in my role right now. I love what I do, but I'm just looking for new ways to expand. Is there any way I could take a course to learn this thing? Or is there any way I can move into a promotion or a raise or a new role where I can really make it mine? Is there any opportunity to expand? And I feel there are going to be some opportunities here, but when I see this, I feel there's an energy here where it feels very much like sometimes you're going to work alone, and then the rest of the time you'll work in a team. So for example, some of you, it could be that you change your schedule. Some of it will be home-based, where you get to work independently alone, and then may need to come into the office or into the place of employment like 1 or 2 or a couple of days a week, right? I'm just getting this energy. Some of you restructuring the way that you work. And if you're an entrepreneur, this could indicate some of you, you may feel that you are someone who is a maverick in your career. And if you don't, you should do with that 3 of Wands there. You should have confidence in your skill set because you're really talented. You're really gifted at what you do naturally, but also I feel like you've learned through experience, and perhaps for some of you, you've learned through training that, you are actually ahead of everybody else. You should know that by now. If you don't already, you actually are naturally gifted, but also you have acquired knowledge as well. And I feel some of you, even though you work for yourself, sometimes it can be a little bit isolating. So you may actually find ways to integrate. So it could be that you source like a networking event, or you put yourself in a place that is specialized for independent workers to come together. And you may meet some allies there or alliances that can help you expand on opportunity, or even just give you little pointers on things that you didn't know about your industry, and you will give them pointers on what you know about the industry that they don't either. I feel there's a wonderful exchange of information going on there. And of course, there's this energy of being nomadic there. Now, the World card can also indicate, of course, the world. So the world, when it is in a certain level of turmoil, especially economically, it affects every industry. So I feel some of you, especially if you're an independent worker or you are an entrepreneur, you may be trying to make sure that you learn new things, to expand, to basically help people who are struggling economically, or you may be someone who is trying to stay afloat or head and shoulders above other industries, because there's a lot of competition at this time. But the 6 of Wands says you are above the competition. And if you work for a company, it can indicate that, there is a promotion available and other people may go for this opportunity. But I feel you're the person for the job if you want to step into that role. Because right now, I feel like you're valuing your skill set. 6 of Wands is to step into the limelight and be successful. And, you're not the sort of person who is egotistical, who shouts about your skill set. So, sometimes it's the people who are the loudest who get the most attention because they're drawing that attention to them. So I feel this card is like peacock yourself a little bit more, not shouting about who you are and what you do, but this is about letting yourself be seen. Allow your skill set to really come to the fore, because there is somebody here, I feel, with that Five of Swords, who is more than willing to take your ideas and run with them themselves and really draw attention to themselves. So just watch who you tell your ideas to, because I feel there could be a potential sabotage energy here. But I actually feel that you are someone who can step away from that energy. I feel already you know who this person is, someone you can't trust because you feel they are in competition with you, or they see you as a threat. Now, this could even be your boss, okay? If you work in a company, you could see them looking at you in a way where they see you as that threat. Okay, they see that you're really gifted, talented, and capable of doing what you do and what they do, and they don't like it at all. So they may be playing a little bit of hardball with you, but I feel this person, basically I feel like they're not going to remain long in the company is what I see. I feel this person, either they will be terminated, their contract will be terminated, or, right now they're sitting on the fence as to whether they should stay or go. So they're not happy either, and they feel like they want to go, but I feel fear is keeping them stuck where they're at right now. And maybe you can feel that because you're very intuitive. You know that this person's not happy, and they're just bringing that unhappiness into the working environment. But I feel it won't be too long before this person kind of leaves, but right now they're sitting on the fence. They're not sure if they will or not. But I feel like they may actually be given a nudge later on, so they won't have a choice. So I feel to some degree you'll be victorious in that. Now, of course, this card indicates you are an influencer. You're influencing your current circumstances. This is about renewing your trust in your contribution to your career and seeing that your visions are starting to take shape and that you are very unique in all your endeavors. And that is actually your superpower there. This is a card that indicates some good news that you will celebrate comes in. And we've got the Three of Wands. When you've got the World card, the Three of Wands, and the Six of Wands, it really tells me that you are on to the next project or looking for new opportunities right now. So even if you feel like you've hit a glass ceiling in your industry, whether you work for yourself or whether you're an entrepreneur, and you run a company of people, or whether you actually are someone who works for a company, I feel like you may be looking for new opportunities, and some of you may actually be headhunted in the next 6 weeks, because I feel someone is going to approach you for a partnership or for some sort of opportunity to work together. Now, this could be, I don't feel like it's the person leaving. I got to be honest with you there. I feel there is someone else coming in who's going to sort of notice your skill set and really want you on their team. So I feel headhunting is a possibility over the next coming weeks and months. But the Three of Wands there really is about aligning yourself with your heart's desire and knowing that you're on the right path. So there is some good news that comes in here that shows you that you're flourishing in your career. There is growth in your career here, and also that you are someone who is destined for the top, but that you are going to be offered something new. There's a change here for you. And I feel this is a card that indicates, a couple of opportunities come towards you, and then you have to choose. We have the Two of Swords there, Five of Swords, the Death card. So for some of you, if you put your resume out there and you're in a current working environment, something comes in that you're really tempted about. But I feel like you may need to investigate it further before you decide to leave where you're at. Now, that could mean that for some of you, it feels like something completely fresh. It's almost like some of you may be thinking of going into a completely different industry, and you're about to take a major leap of faith, or you've established yourself so far that now you're thinking about going solo, and an opportunity to be a little bit more independent comes through. And whilst you're thrilled, you're also a little bit nervous. I feel like you're going to be awesome at this, whatever it is. And I'm going to pull a quick card on that Three of Wands. Okay, Three of Wands can also indicate teamwork. So if you're someone who already manages a team, there could be like an award or some sort of recognition that your team did really well. But also I feel part of you is like you're given the credit, or you're part of a team, and you may feel that not only should you be given the credit, but you're sharing that credit with other people as well. So I feel like you're very humble in that respect. So let me just pull a card on this. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? Oh, we have the Fool card, fresh new start Four of Cups and the Five of Wands. Yeah. So this could be something that you've been in training for your whole life, like the job of your dreams that comes in. And it presents a brand new start, a fresh new start. So whether it's in the same industry or arena, I feel something has been offered to you from the universe here, and it's like you weren't expecting it, or it can feel a little bit that right now you've been in a cycle of repeat, you've just been doing, and you've been closed off to opportunities, but something new is raising its head here, and you're really curious about it, or you're really interested. And that Five of Wands can indicate that, you are a little bit conflicted about whether you should take it or not. So I feel like you have to make some major decisions this month about an opportunity that comes up. But looking at it, I feel it's more in alignment with your heart. So the choice is yours, of course. We all have free will. With that Fool card and the Four of Cups and the Five of Wands can also indicate that some of you are pretty fed up with office politics, or even the industry that you work in. There may be a lot of competition and you're just fed up that it seems like everybody is at each other's throat trying to be the best. It's like there's no support. If you all work together, you could work as a team. I'm being given an energy here of something, so maybe it's relevant, maybe it's not. For example, I'm actually seeing someone who cuts keys, a key cutter, and it's almost like this person has an industry where they cut keys and do other things as well, like fix watch straps and shoe heels, really practical but important things. And it's like there may be something that this person doesn't do in their industry, right? And a customer comes in and says, hey, I've got this thing, can you do this? And they're like, well, no, I can't do this. Rather than just sending them on their way, it feels very much like this person says, I don't do this, but there's another key cutter that's a little bit down the road and they do that. So maybe you want to go try there. It's almost like you're helping the customer, and the customer remembers this, and you also send industry to someone who is a rival, potentially. But it's interesting because the customer remembers that you gave them a tip to send them somewhere else because you were so helpful. They return to you eventually for all the other things that they want, rather than go to the person, the rival. Okay, if that makes sense. So I'm just giving you that. That's not going to resonate with everyone, but it feels very much like recognize what you have to offer, what's unique about you, what you offer that other people do not. And, we all have to acknowledge that there are certain things that we don't have as a skill set that other people do have. And it's like, if you all work together as a team, then, the best outcome would be aligned. So ultimately, I feel like, though, you're the one who's above the competition. You're the person who's got all the strings to your bow, as it were. You've got the skills in all areas, and if anyone was to go anywhere else, they would see that there was something missing. But if they came to you for the skill, the goods, or the services that you provide, it feels like you've got it all. Okay, if that makes sense. So I feel there's this sense of confidence that you are I'm being given this energy. What is it? It's you are the 10. It's almost like if you were getting marks out of 10, you were a 10. Weird energy coming through. I'm just going to move away from that because I don't really like scoring a person, right? But that's coming through there. It's like you're a perfect 10. Okay, there we go. That's the energy, and I'm just going to leave it there. But with the Four of Cups, I feel some of you may have been a little bit bored with your current working practice. You may feel that you want a new start, or you want a new challenge. You may feel that whilst you kind of love what you do, you may feel that it's got very saturated, or it's just got a little bit same, repetitive cycle, routine. And routine is not meant to be feared. Because it's so important to have structure, because when you have routine or repetitive cycles, then you are becoming a master or a mistress of your craft. You're so good at what you do because you do it day in, day out. It's almost like you're on autopilot. So I feel, some of you are looking for a new challenge, but do not overlook the fact that structure adds simplicity to your everyday, that it means that you're above the competition because, you know, you're capable of maintaining a level of professionalism and talent and skill set that other people just cannot maintain. And it's not perfectionism. Some of you may suffer from perfectionism there, but I feel like you've been really trying hard to make sure that there's balance there, and I feel like it shows, okay? So I definitely see there's something to celebrate and some really great things coming your way. We do have the Death card. It's in the Resistance position, and that's the energy I'm getting of a backlog, okay? Some of you are going to basically be very focused on the things that you haven't gotten around to do over the next coming weeks, because I feel like you will have finished or completed something that was a major priority, and you're going to feel really proud, and now you can focus a little bit more on the other things that just didn't get done yet, okay? Now also the Death card can indicate some of you have been resisting change, or you have felt that there's no mobility in your industry. So if you work for yourself and you're an entrepreneur, you know, it can mean, of course, you know, you give yourself the highest position, but you may feel that what you do so far, you've done as much as you can do with it, and you want to branch out. You want to try new things to expand your business. So some of you may have like international links or be going abroad, or some of you may be just branching out with new ideas that you're really curious about that helps you bring in second, third, fourth streams of income, and then it becomes passive income once you set it up and get it running. And for some of you who are working in a company, you may be actually thinking of ways to become more financially independent and leaving a position so that you become either a consultant or an entrepreneur yourself and launch something, because the Hermit is a card to go solo, okay? These could be ideas that you're thinking about right now, but ultimately with the Death card in the Resistance position, it will go into the upright like this by the end of June, which means there is something new happening here for you, a new beginning, a new door opening for you, and you're going to see that you've dedicated yourself to making progress, and you're going to see the results of that as well. Now we do have the Two of Swords and the Five of Swords. Some of you may be brainstorming new ideas, or you may have come up against a bit of a problem in your career that you're trying to sort through or work out. Now this could be someone else's mistake, is what I'm being given here. So for example, if you are an entrepreneur, it could be that you outsource some stuff to people. Like, for example, your accountant may do your accounts, and then you have to look over them and you think, oh, okay, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. You have to readdress, and it may just delay things, okay? That's what I'm seeing there. For some of you, if you work in a company, for example, and there's like a chain of command or a chain of events, you have a certain position in that chain. You may be waiting for something that you have to do, but it's coming from someone else or a different department, and you have to wait, and there's a delay, and it may put the pressure on. That's what I see there, but I feel it'll be easily rectified, but you may need to chase it. That's what I'm being given there as well, which is frustrating, but I also feel, you know, it's almost like you're being really professional and keeping the line going, doing like that, like, come on, let's not get complacent here, let's keep things moving. That's the energy that I've got coming through for you. Now also I'm being given a calculator. I'm being shown a calculator right now. So this could also be that you're calculating a move perhaps in your life right now, and you're trying to tap into your intuition before you move into uncharted territory. That's what the Two of Swords is. It's kind of like some of you have been working really hard that you haven't had a break, but you're trying to also launch new things, new ideas, and you're trying to calculate the next steps before you actually make them. So it's almost like a calculated risk there. But also it could be that some of you are like looking at budgets and you're feeling it's time to be financially stricter in some way. When you have so many swords, it can indicate that you're very cerebral this month. You have some things on your mind that you need to sort through. Now these could be personal, doesn't have to be to do with work, but I feel some of you have a lot on your mind as well about potentially a person who likes to push your buttons in the working environment. And this could also be someone who is in your industry, if you're an entrepreneur, who likes to copy your work, edit it, and make it look like it was their idea. So just watch out for that. I would say copyright is important, okay? If you've got a new idea, also patent it, things like that. If you're an inventor, for example, patent it, copyright it, whatever. Make sure you take the right legal lines of protecting it, because I feel there's a lot of people out there who go, that's a very nice idea. I might just take that for myself. Thank you very much. And you don't want to have that happen to you there either, okay? Now, the Five of Swords, when it's in the resistance position, it actually has a very positive energy. It means any stress or pressure is alleviated. It can also indicate if you are having some conflict with someone in your industry, or you're having some conflict in your business, it will be rectified. If you're having like a conflict with a person in the working environment, it can mean a solution is found and the environment just becomes a little bit nicer because the air has been cleared, as it were. So I'm definitely feeling that. It feels very much like a dispute is coming to an end. So if you are having a dispute with someone who provides stuff for your business, or they haven't paid an invoice, or it just feels like the chain of command has broken down in some way, there will be a solution and it will start moving forward in a more simplified fashion. Now, we do have the Hermit, and the Hermit is a card of withdrawal, to recharge because you're exhausted. And some of you have been working super hard. You absolutely deserve a break. You are in need of a break. I feel like your body is calling out for a break. Even if you've just taken a vacation, some of you are still like exhausted with the amount of work or being overstretched. And I feel this is a card that kind of indicates you are feeling a bit fed up with the way things are going, but you are enduring a circumstance that has been difficult and you're maturing through it, and you're trying to be more inspired to find new ways of approaching things. So it could be that you have been in an industry for quite some time and you're like, you know what, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. It's just not getting easier, or people are demanding more of your time and not upping the finances to complement the amount of effort that you're putting into your career sector. So with this Hermit energy, some of you may, just go a little bit silent to withdraw without distractions in order to formulate new ideas or plans, because the Page of Swords there is a planning stage of something, and it feels very much like you're thinking about the next steps of either leaving a place or going solo, setting something up on your own there. But as you can see, the bear represents endurance, the star represents healing, but also ideas. Okay, it can be that you're inspired in some way. And also the Hermit is tapping into your intuition, really reflecting, going inwards for truth, taking accountability of the next steps of your journey, for example. So with that Two of Swords, I feel some of you have to make a major decision about your career. I feel it's an offer that comes through, actually. But some of you may see some changes or restructures going on in your career environment. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, it could be new policies, new rules, regulations that make things less viable, and you need to change with those new policies. For some of you, if you work in a company, it could be that there is a major management restructure or some sort of merge going on, and you feel change is afoot. So some of you may be withdrawing to observe these changes. And because you're very knowledgeable and someone who is very mature, and there's a knowingness about you, I feel like some of you are preempting these moves. It's almost like, how do you stay ahead of the game? Either by upskilling, getting new knowledge to help you move through this time period, or leave a position. I feel some of you are just observing what's going on right now. But we've got the Lovers card. So ultimately, whatever decision you make, you're going to love the outcome. The Lovers card, when you apply it to a career or money reading, it basically means you're following your heart, you're manifesting new opportunities that are more in alignment with your life's purpose and mission, and that you are in a strong position to manifest these opportunities as well. This card also indicates that, some of you have to make that decision. You have to make a decision right now that will make a major impact on your life. This is a life-changing opportunity or a life-changing choice, decision that you're making. But ultimately, I feel you're following your heart, and you really can't go wrong when you're following your heart, okay? Also, some of you may be wondering whether you should go solo or partner up in business. So it could be that you are thinking about partnering up with a family member or someone you really celebrate. Could also be someone you really trust there. What I'm getting here as well is be a little bit mindful that you're doing really well in your industry, especially if you're an entrepreneur. I feel like you really stand out. And if there's a brand partnership or something like comes in there, or a sponsorship, this is great, but investigate it, because there is the potential that whoever is coming towards you, they see your success and they want a part of the pie. And if you are capable of doing it all by yourself, then why share the pie if you can do it all by yourself? But if you feel exhausted and you can't, then this is a great opportunity for you to delegate or to branch out a little bit. But I would say be mindful about what they are set to gain, and make sure there's a contract in place as well. Okay, you know the drill, my beautiful Virgo. Now, of course, we have the Page of Swords. Now, the Page of Swords is an interesting card because it basically means you're super intelligent, you have a lot of skills, you're someone who's very talented, very organized. You're going to be more organized than usual at the end of the month. But also, this is a card that indicates new focus. So, and it's something here that calls for greater investigation. Maybe just an idea right now you've only scratched the surface on, but you're digging a little bit deeper in June there. Also, when this figure is holding up the sword, it's almost like this figure is kind of working out which way the wind is blowing. And if you know what I mean by that, it's like winds of change. People, see which way the wind is blowing to affect progress. If you think about a ship, you got to see which way the wind is blowing so that you can use the sails to almost like help you move further or have further progress. So I feel right now that you are in a period of strategizing and working out when it's best to either launch something new, or I feel like if you're being headhunted, you may be looking at what this company stands for, whether they're in alignment with your belief system, if there is a potential to level up to the next stage. Is there movement? Is there promotions there? I definitely see that you are just keeping an eye on things and seeing what's right for you at this time. Now, also, some of you, in secret, you may have gone on a course of learning. This could be a night class, or it could be something you're studying during a break, or it could be something that you're studying from home. Some of you may be thinking about launching a business from home, and you're just studying for it right now, because this is a course of study card. So I feel like, you're going to get a qualification or a certification that helps you elevate in your career circumstances, and it draws way more opportunities towards you. So you're investing in yourself and your skills, and although you have natural knowledge, acquired knowledge is going to also help you be ahead of the curve there as well. Pages bring news, so I definitely see this good news coming in, but I definitely see that you're going to be a little bit more curious about what it really means for you moving forward. Now, also, I would say if you work for a company, across the board actually, whether you work for a company or whether you work for yourself as an entrepreneur, I feel like all eyes are on you. So if you're in a company and you have a boss, for example, I feel you're being watched at this time for potential promotion. So just watch out if anyone's gossiping. Don't get involved in that, because it may go against you. Also, I feel, during your downtime, if you're feeling a little bit bored, just watch that, if you're on the internet, that, you're not caught shopping on company time, that sort of thing. That's coming through there as well. It may not resonate with everyone, but it's coming out there because I feel there's a potential for someone to come around the corner and just catch you. But if you're someone who's squirreled away in the corner and there's no potential for that to happen, just watch out for it anyway, because I feel here that for some of you, there may be like an IT test. And I'm not just talking about like a phishing email. I'm talking about, when sometimes IT can like take over your screen. It's like a screen share type thing. There may be something like that goes on, or maybe the company is being asked to watch what people are doing on the computers. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's even allowed, but I'm just getting this weird kind of spyware kind of energy. So just watch out for that. It could literally mean that there's like a breach of security at the working environment, or something goes down there. I'm not sure. If you're an entrepreneur, this could be like Again, someone casting an eye over what you do. So it could be, again, an accountant looking at your documents, or if you're trying to set up like a new legal entity, for example, it could mean that governing bodies are looking at your proposal, because I'm getting an energy like that as well. Lots of documents this month, legal papers. I see you paying attention to that too. I mean, on a personal level, I feel some of you are looking at some of your subscriptions, things that you have that you pay for that perhaps you don't utilize as much. You may be downsizing on those, getting rid of them. There may be one or two where you're like, I kind of like it. I like that it's there if I want to tap into it, but you don't really use it as much. So you may need to weigh up whether you want to keep it or not. This could be like a subscription to a magazine, or maybe something that's online there as well. Now the Death card signals change. No matter what, don't fight the changes. You're being asked to be flexible during these changes, because change is happening. The one thing that is constant in this lifetime is change. Seasons change, we change, circumstances change, everything evolves, and there is a cycle. Endings are never really just that. They are new beginnings. They are new chapters. They're open doors to new possibilities. So, for example, for those beautiful Virgos out there who have currently lost their job, or were made redundant, or were fired, or, just found yourself finding it really hard to come out of college and find work. Whatever circumstance you're in, it means that, this is not just the end of your story. There is a wonderful set of opportunities heading your way, which means there's new portals to change. And these changes are going to set you up to follow your heart, be victorious, and, be very productive and really make an impact in your industry. So I see that some exciting things happening here for you. Some of you with the Death card, twice in your reading, it can indicate that, some of the things that have remained unfinished, for example, you complete them. All the things that have been built up, you're going to pay a little bit more attention to that over the month of June in particular, just to get everything running smoothly again and get back to a fresh new start. For some of you, it could be that, like, if you're back from vacation, for example, you're like, okay, let's get organized. Let's, set myself up to be super organized before I get back into the swing of things. So it really feels that this is an organizational month there. Oh, they want two of these. That's interesting. Normally they want one. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Virgo? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? I'm just going to go and get these final cards here as well. Now, you do have the card of Fury, bushfires, okay? Now, for some of you, there could be someone, obviously, who's making you quite cross. I did mention someone trying to push your buttons, or someone who potentially has been making things hard for you. Now, we can see stress or challenge as something that's overwhelming, or we can use that energy to shape our world and direct our sort of feelings towards making change for the better. Rather than being angry at someone or something, it's almost like you'll channel that energy into changing your future. And, it's almost like they will stand at the sidelines watching you thrive and rise. And, you've channeled that sort of energy of anger into productivity. When it's like turning pain to gain, I feel this energy of you turning things around for your favor. But also, this card is number 10, which is Wheel of Fortune energy, which is a cycle of change. But this card, it can indicate that extreme emotions are hard to contain, and anger, whilst it is a healthy emotion, fury is less necessary. So it's almost like tempering your approach to something. If someone is annoying you, like stepping back, of course, nip it in the bud if anyone is disrespecting you. But I feel it's really interesting, because what I'm getting is, and I'm finding it hard to pinpoint the energy. It's almost like if you think about fire on the earth, it is very destructive, okay? But also it's regenerative. It regenerates the soil. It creates a richer soil for things to grow. So it almost connects to your reading of something that potentially feels like the end actually is only the beginning of something that is going to be more lucrative and healthy for you long term. And if you feel like you're in a working environment that constantly makes you feel stressed or pressurized, or, rageful even, because the word is fury, then this is like your sign that it's unhealthy for you, and now it's time to change your narrative. Okay, now of course challenge and pressure can help us accomplish things. As I said, some pressure can be a negative, of course, but it can also be a director or a shaper of worlds, a positive influence, because if you're feeling that you're really under pressure, or you have a deadline, it makes you work towards something. You have to push yourself that extra mile, but you know the difference between something that's healthy and that's not, okay? Now we do have a construct, Tower of Power, someone who's enduring some difficult circumstances but is going from strength to strength. It says here, Tower of Power, corporate, high rank, build, banking, pinnacle, and being on top. And I mean, look at this figure. This figure is on top, is being raised, elevated, and I definitely see that there is some sort of recognition coming in. I mean, it could even be an award, but it's definitely good news, and it's definitely success. And you put yourself in that position, so be proud of yourself. Also, you know, this is a tower. Sometimes towers, they can be looked at negatively, but it really means that you stand out and that you are a tower of strength, rather than just, you know, that you're trying to hold it all together and everything seems to be breaking apart, or that there's going to be a shock. So I feel this tower energy is working for you, not against you. We also have full cup and seeking the Holy Grail. That's it. That's exactly it. You seeking the best way to work, the most enjoyable way to work, but also the most financially beneficial way to work. I mean, looking at your reading in terms of money, because coins did not really come up there, I feel this is about something big is changing for you in your career sector, and this could be a total revamp of your finances, you know, to bring in better opportunities. The Three of Wands actually is being confident that actually things are going to work out way better than you expected. So I do see some shift and change there. It says life mission, greatest desire, thirst for more, fulfilled. As I said, I feel like some of you have hit a glass ceiling or plateau. You've come as far as you can with something that you do, and you are thirsty for more. And I feel there is a high-ranking opportunity coming in for you that will bring you what you desire, that moreness. Now we have domain, ruling your empire, taking charge, and it says greatness, position of power, large home, respect, and wealth. And that's definitely what you are attracting. If you think about elephants, you know, they do a lot of heavy lifting. They remove the obstacles and they move on. No matter what, they keep moving. And they're also very sociable. So some of you, I definitely see that there is some sort of networking opportunity here, or an opportunity to connect to someone who can help you. Again, there's this headhunting energy coming through. Now we also have emergence, coming into the light. I did mention this earlier, right at the beginning, that you don't tend to shout about your skill set, but now is a time to really peacock yourself. You know, coming into the light, soul work, awakening, spotlight, many interests, and living gently. Okay, so I definitely see here that you're going to be seen for what you bring to the table of your career, and there are rewards that come with it as well. But it may be a slow process, but I still feel you're on the right trajectory. And finally, we have joy, music. Okay, now when you get this card, of course, this is about, you know, using music to change your mood. So it can mean, especially if there is fury or anger, or someone is like making you cross in the office, or even if you felt a lot of pressure recently when you've been working, perhaps, you know, putting your headphones on, because I'm seeing someone putting their headphones on, but that normally means you're getting rid of distractions in order to focus. But it could be that you're actually, you know, listening to music to help express yourself, or it just makes things easier when you're working, or elevates your mood in some way. Especially if you feel like, for example, and I'm just going to give you an example of me. For example, I have to be called to the readings by my guides, and I have to feel that I have the energy to do them. And if I can't, then I just won't touch it, because then I will just give a second-rate reading, and I will never do that because, you know, I want to help. I want to extend whatever is channeled towards you, and I can't do that if I'm not on optimum energy. So it can be you sort of noticing when your energy is really drained, and people who do drain your energy, stepping back from them. Or it could even be working environments where you feel as soon as you go in there, you feel this sense of like anger. You know, if you're in a very highly pressurized environment where people are not happy, you can feel it, and it extends towards you as well, and it drains you and brings you down with them. So I feel some of you are just like over it and like, I can't do it anymore. And you're seeking, you know, more fulfillment in your everyday working environment, and you're going to find it. Okay. But also this is about you attracting new opportunities by changing your vibration. So I really feel here that, I mean, for some of you, I'm getting an energy that you are wanting to work in natural, like, landscapes. So it could be that you may be in the office like 3 days a week, and the rest of the week you may be lounging in a park, or you know, in a garden if you're lucky enough to have a garden, or perhaps you're going to be by a pool. Depends on what walk in life you're on right now. So I definitely see there is change afoot, but it will benefit you long term. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. Okay, we've only got one there, one rune, and it is the giant rune. Okay, so this is basically a protection rune, which indicates that if you've had any rejection or anything hasn't been going right in your career, you're being sort of protected and redirected towards something greater. But also, you know, giant rune indicates, you know, some sort of opportunity coming in. It can also be like an indication or a warning that if something is off in your career sector, you know, you're being drawn to focus on it at this time and change it. And I'm getting this energy of thorn in the side. This came up in a reading a couple of weeks ago, maybe even for your reading, and it's just resurfacing. But I'm just getting this energy of someone being a thorn in your side. So it could be that someone is bugging you right now, and you're just going to rise above it and be a bigger person, because, you know, the giant rune indicates bigger opportunities to come, and that don't be distracted by people who really cannot influence your career path. These people are not capable of the success that you're capable of. And have you ever thought that they serve as a distraction to try and stop you from succeeding because they know that they are not capable of it? So I feel it's really important for you to notice who's got your back and who hasn't, and, you know. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in this reading for you, my beautiful Virgo. If it does, please like and subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Now, some of you have reached out and said you have not been receiving notifications for anybody's videos, not just mine, but anybody's. So I reached out to YouTube to just find out why that is, and they ran a check with my channel. Nothing going on there that's untoward, but they did say that YouTube ran some changes recently, and all you have to do is go to your settings on YouTube and click the notifications button. Okay, and make sure it's on. And then also the channel that you're interested in getting a video from, you need to be subscribed to it and have clicked the notification bell on it as well, and then you'll start to get those videos. So I just thought I'd reach out and try and help whoever is having problems with notifications across the board. So I hope it does help. Okay, thank you so much, my beautiful Virgo, and love and light.